Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show. Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by co-hosts Chris Patton and Joe Higgens. 'Tis the season for comic book films. No, not Christmas. We've already had Christmas. I'm a big Christmas guy. Everyone that knows me knows that. I'm excruciatingly offensive with it. If I'm being honest, it's my thing. But 'tis always the season for comic book films here on the 6M podcast. We've talked about a lot of them. We reviewed a lot of Marvel films, a bunch of them. We reviewed some DC. Don't ask how it went. We've reviewed other stuff too, including comic book characters, comic book series, limited series. I mean, you name it, we talked about it. Graphic novels, we've done that here too. I'm a comic book guy, okay? Among other things, Christmas guy in combination, but also comic book guy. So yes, we do tend to talk about comic book films quite a bit here on the 6M podcast. We're doing that again today with The Crow. You guys know what's up. You saw the name of this episode. You read the description. This is a film commentary, and hopefully you will approve. I'm a big fan of this film. It's 30 years old this year if you're listening at 2024 anniversary time, which makes me feel older, but it's also really cool. This movie is still relevant. This movie is still turning heads. People are still talking about this movie for no other reason than the star and unfortunately terrible events that surround it. Is it cursed? Is the role cursed? We'll get into some of that today too, I suppose. But in the meantime, let's get into it. The Crow is a 1994 American supernatural superhero film directed by Alex Proyas from a screenplay by David J. Shaw and John Shirley, based on the 1989 limited comic book series of the same name by James O'Barr. The film stars Brandon Lee in his final film appearance as Eric Draven, a musician who is resurrected from the dead to seek vengeance against the gang who murdered him and his fiancée, all the while being pursued by a sympathetic police officer. This movie is distributed by Miramax Films and release date May 13th, 1994 in the United States. Running time 102 minutes. The budget for this film was $23 million. The box office total $94 million. And that is your lowdown on The Crow. Guys, as we kick this off,
it didn't make budget.
It made budget, but in Hollywood, is 94 on a 23 a success? Probably not.
Double and a half is the go-to rule, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, it's surprising. It's guys. I don't know if I knew this movie didn't make. I assumed not box office smash, but I assumed it did better than this.
I think that's why it's labeled as a cult film, because it didn't do well at cinema, but has then found an audience on home cinema.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like one that made its money back tenfold in rentals.
That's fair.
In just posters in teenagers' rooms. Yeah.
Now, The Crow, according to this, it was a sleeper hit. It opened at number 1 in the U.S. And it made it Miramax's biggest ever opening. So there was a lot of hoopla around this, a lot of buzz. Yeah. It did well. I mean, it's 24th highest grossing film for 94. There's much worse spots to be in. And number 10 for R-rated films released that year. So no, it didn't do poorly. But look, by today's standards, Joe, to your point, that doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This movie had a ton of production issues and things that were cut out of it from the graphic novel.
Yeah,
I know ran up the budget.
Skull Cowboy, yeah,
quite a bit. So that probably has a lot to do with that. But yeah, and obviously
all the CGI, you can see that money right up on there on stage. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty obvious they had to.
We
finish
all know
the film.
Bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's, who knows at this point. We don't have to give the guy a eulogy. It's been done plenty of times over the years, I'm sure, but in various forms of media. But who knows what could have been with Brandon Lee had he survived? I don't know.
Swear to God, this was his. Yeah. I genuinely think this was the breakout role for him. This was the thing that made him. Yeah, he can do action, but also because I think before this he'd done. What was the absolutely terrible film I watched. But yeah, he was just doing basically like action, like Jean-Claude Van Damme time copy sort of films before this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was the one where he actually got to do quote unquote acting in it.
The son of course, legendary Bruce Lee. So
yeah.
The Curse of the Dragon.
Curse of the Dragon.
Oh, the Alec Baldwin conundrum. Yeah.
Ooh.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no, I mean yeah, you're right. It's Curse, man. Freaking nuts.
There are some great breakdowns of what happened with that prop gun on YouTube that I recommend people go and check out, especially like the difference between like a blank and then different prop guns like loaded wads, etc.
I didn't know,
which was really neat.
You can't fire a blank at someone at close range because it still discharges as it will still I didn't know any of this, and because of this film I went and watched all of this stuff, and it's still down to the weapon handler on set. It's still his fault. He should have checked, but
100%.
Potato.
Chris, to that point, real quick, in terms of the videos, they do a fairly good job explaining, and like, was there one person identified at fault? Because I'm unclear on that, actually.
I don't necessarily know that they're more at what's at fault. It's more of the breakdown, the differences of the guns they used and the type of rounds they used for the different scenes, as well as showing you what, like on a ballistic dummy at close range, what those various types of rounds they were using would do.
Right.
I mean, whoever the prop, it would be in the props department. It would be their fault at the end of the day. So, I mean, I guess whoever was the head, we can look at the credits and see who got the credit for that.
The weapon handler, like the guy who was the on-set weapon handler, I believe on that day left early and just left stuff. Again, I'm talking purely from like a fan point of, I have to blame someone. But I think he said like, it's a tragic shame what happened, but
for sure,
I think kind of makes the film weirdly more poignant.
Yeah,
Tom,
it's hard to disagree with
behind
that.
you there, mate.
I know. So if you're only listening to the audio, I still had the Two Nations Under Ted background behind me and forgot. And neither one of my illustrious co-hosts pointed it out to me. Thanks, guys. So I put up the crow behind me, and now it's like freaking me out. So I may have to change that because, it's kind of freaking me out.
He's looking pretty menacing back there.
I know, right?
I know that the actor who was the guy that pulled the trigger, like, never watched this film and retired for a long time from it because it messed him up master. Because it would do. Like, it ain't your fault.
No.
Like, you're going to work, someone gives you a thing, you point this at this guy, you pull the trigger, bam, like, ha ha ha. We're all acting, but then you invariably fire loose shrapnel into the heart of Brandon Lee, and it's a weird one.
It's a very bad day at work for sure.
It's left a mark on the industry. I mean, they felt it for years to come, I'm sure. And to your point about Baldwin earlier, I mean, did we learn our lesson? Well, yeah, I guess. But, there should never, ever be a reason for this to ever happen, ever, ever, ever.
I mean, it wasn't Baldwin. I think the gun handlers were non-union. I don't know whether that's true or whether I've just made that up, but it feels like a sort of thing he would do. I think, like, union-wise, you have to operate under strict procedure.
Oh,
because he was operating in some Mickey Mouse operation. That's a British phrase for just like a made up, not Disney. I realized maybe a confusion there.
I get the reference. Totally get the reference.
Wayne Gretzky famously called the New Jersey Devils a Mickey Mouse organization.
He's the only man I'd have sex with.
Wayne Gretzky or Mickey Mouse.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky dressed as Mickey Mouse? I don't know.
Oh, hang on now.
I'm just saying. Hey kids, Tom Clark here, and did you know the very podcast you're listening to right now is available on boinkstudios.com. B-O-I-N-K, Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com. Kids, you know what you came here for. If you're a comic book guy like I am, or slash movie guy, or both, or whatever, or you're just interested, this is a flat out watch along commentary. So what'll happen is, as we will mark the episode, we will mark the movie beginning and as we go, so you can stay on track with us, keep time with us. We'll let you know where we are. Of course, you can pause at any time you want to. Completely up to you. And for my co-host, if anyone needs to take a break, you can come back, that kind of thing. So we don't do the 6M often on video. We usually reserve those for watch-alongs just because it's much more fun with a group of people to kind of get video and whatnot, which is why we're doing this here today. So now that my background is sorted out, we got a cool animation behind us. If you guys are ready, let's get this thing cranking. So,
good boy.
Kids, here we are. No matter where you watch this film, because we always struggle with what device is everyone watching their movie on today? But no matter what logos you have at the beginning, whether it's MGM, Miramax, or Carl's Movies, whatever that is, when the screen goes to black after your opening logo, that's where you need to be. Like on my time, it's 13 seconds. It could be various depending on what your device you're watching it on.
So it was black and Miramax, you said.
I was, but I'll let Miramax go off the screen and go to straight black. So just let it go another second.
Give me a second. Jesus.
Joe's got to reset here. Look what happened.
All right. No, I'm fine. No, this is unprofessional.
I know. So that's how we roll, baby.
Random dudes doing this. Right. Come on.
This is not random. This is organized chaos.
Yeah.
All right, kids. Here we go. We will do the lethal weapon on 3. So 1, 2, 3 on 3, not 1, 2, 3, and then play. All right. Kids, everybody play along. We go on 3. 1, 2, 3. We have hit play. I got Brandon Lee on my screen, the word Brandon Lee right now. Nice. Chris, you good?
Yep, we're good.
I'm very tall font.
The Crow. Were you guys into the book at all before or after this movie? Yeah?
Mate, it was one of those things that as a younger man, there's a passage in that book that I kind of wanted to get tattooed on me. I thought it'd be cool and emotional and get me girls.
Did it work?
So, also, some tremendous model work here as well.
Oh, 100%. And let's remind kids of where we are, too, because this is 94. This is 5 years after the Michael Keaton Batman. So we're in that scope of time where people are really wanting to make money off comic book films.
So the graphic novel came like later for me because I actually saw this film for the first time when I was 6. So I wasn't really out here.
Yeah, that's bewildering. A 6-year-old should watch this.
It's good.
The graphic novel is infinitely different from the film as well.
We got
James
the
O'Barr
voiceover.
was like, he was kind of fine with it, I believe.
There's Ernie Hudson. I may be a second behind you guys now. I turn my captionings on.
But he's we missed the opening bit there as well. It's like Sarah says, sometimes when a sin is so egregious that sometimes, just sometimes, a crow can bring the soul back.
Which I assume Tom would know right offhand because it's also the same voiceover for the introduction to Sting in WCW as Crow.
It is. Hey, not for. By the way, we'll get into that for just a second. Let's illustrate here. There's a crime scene. Ernie Hudson's there. Ghostbuster extraordinaire. I love Ernie Hudson. Wedding invitation. I may be a second behind you guys now.
Officer Albrecht.
Yes. Who the F gets married on Halloween anyway?
Also, every shot they do in this room has like this great comic book feel to it. Everything they do around the broken, shattered window, it's just really cool, especially with the vibrant paint on the walls. I've always thought it just looked cool.
It does. Stylistically, it's a beautiful film, actually. Very goth, very dark.
And the intro font to this movie, like Brandon Lee's name, that is just the animated Batman series
Yes.
font.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
You
the
see
big enough
the-
asshole?
We see the skateboard there. We see the crow.
Some might call it a surfboard.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Poor Sarah.
There's the girlfriend's not doing too well.
I love the old school Transmedivac ambulance here, Tom. Threw that in there
Yeah.
for you to pop.
Yes.
It's going on the Cannonball Run right after this.
Well done. Oh, we got to do Cannonball Run. I so want to do Cannonball Run. How far behind am I
Winston.
now?
Say something.
I mean, the ambulance just pulled off. He is now talking with.
Yeah, I think I'm a second behind, but that's it. Maybe a second. Second and a half, maybe. Not bad. He's telling her it's okay. She's going to be fine.
You're right in line with me. Maybe.
Yeah,
like
I was going to
well
say.
done. Milliseconds
Yeah,
off.
don't worry about the delay.
Shout out to Troy Grant, kids. But we've recorded with Troy Grant from Untitled Wrestling Podcast before on this, and he is so far ahead. And according to what Jay just told me, he's ahead every single time, and nobody can figure out why. Like I'm talking double digits ahead of us, like 40 to 60 to 90 seconds every single time. Like
he's a witch.
We told him, we said we just started play and it's already tomorrow for him. That's how far ahead he is. There's that voiceover again.
Is he just accidentally hitting the fast forward button and not telling you guys? Is that?
I don't know.
Troy operates. He's always got me one step ahead.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do love this bit where she just steals flowers from other graves to put on Shelley's grave as well. It's like a proper street urchin Oliver Twist move.
There may be another bird for that. For stealing
and then
flowers.
one on Eric's because he's a man. He doesn't like flowers.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I had some combat boots that I laced just like her in this film because I thought it looks cool with the laces wrapped around the outside.
Oh, I never even noticed.
I've seen this movie a lot.
Oh, mate, like I said, it's my second favorite film of all time ever. I've watched this film. I wore the VHS out that I got at Christmas one year because
that is Rochelle Davis as Sarah Moore, just so we can get it out there.
Only appears in The Crow 2, and the less we talk about that, the better.
Crow first appeared on the. Oh, hold on. The Crow first appeared on the back cover of Dead World number 10, November of 1988. James O'Barr provided a back cover to the first comic book Caliber Press published, which contained advertisement for the upcoming The Crow appearance in Caliber Presents number 1. So that was his actual first appearance.
Right. This bit here annoys me as well, where he's like, put some onions on it, and he's just got like a bowl of cold fried onions on the side. Like, that ain't a thing, is it? Like,
no, that's totally a thing.
Is it?
In America, yeah, it's totally a thing.
Just you need to
raw
out
onions.
The country.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are just doing it wrong.
No, you want like nicely fried off, caramelized, nice and sort of.
That's a different kind of dog, dude.
Oh.
He's right.
He just spoons them out. I'm like, you've got cold, wet onions.
Yeah,
you're eating hot dogs. You're not there for the health, are you?
You can start an absolute fist fight here in America.
Lake Erie once caught fire because of all the shit floating in it. I wish I could have seen that.
Well, we got some chaos happening right now,
We're
kids, on the
introduced
screen.
now to the gang, aren't we?
Yes.
Fun Boy. T-Bone. Cleven. And the Grundle. I don't know their names.
Michael Massey as Fun Boy. Tony Todd as Grange. We mentioned Michael Wincott as Top Dollar.
No, Grange isn't part of the gang.
Is he not?
No, it's
Fun Boy,
T-Bone,
T-Bird.
T-Bird is David Patrick Kelly.
Surely.
T-Bird is David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah.
We've got two T's in the gang.
He's the dude from the Warriors.
Yes, he is. Thank you.
Also,
least hairy arms. Yeah.
We should mention that.
We should mention. I was wrong. I think this is the first song in the film. You were right earlier, Joe. Before we came on,
it's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you.
We should mention that our protagonist just crawled out of the grave.
Oh yeah, he's up now, and the crow's there.
He's back up from the 10 count, kids. He beat the 10 count.
Yeah. And he's staggering about like.
I should be dead.
I don't know about you, but if this was any alleyway in Britain, he would have like so many needles in his feet.
Broken glass, needles.
Yeah.
So the idea, I guess, is rigor mortis, right? Is that what they're going for?
I mean, we're going to forget.
Stone Temple Pilots in that car. Yeah, it's
Conversations killed with Big Empty.
Killed. Yep. I will say as well, this soundtrack is possibly one of my favorite soundtracks to
it's wonderful
ever, because it's just like Judgment Night and stuff where they made rap and rock crossover.
Yeah,
this is that, but not. It's so much better.
It's great.
Also, we've got Pantera covering a fucking the badge is a old. I can't remember the band that did the badge originally.
Yeah, I mean, you get Pantera, White Zombie, Stone Temple Pilots, and The Cure all in one phenomenal soundtrack.
Crazy.
That is the best festival anyone's ever been to.
Crazy.
I actually just watched Tank Girl a couple days ago, and if you guys haven't listened to that soundtrack in a while, it's worth picking up and giving it a listen to. It's also an absolute
Tom, if you want to do Tank Girl at some point, I will 100% do that as well, because Tank Girl.
I'm fine for that.
The first proper comic book film they did.
We did Scott Pilgrim versus the World in 6am. That's got a fun soundtrack too.
But it ain't Tank Girl.
Is it not?
No.
Tank Girl's a unique movie that I would love to see the director's cut of what all the producers.
I think it's one of those that needs critical reappraisal because it is really good. And also Laurie Pay should be held in higher regard than she ever is.
So, kids, here's your marker. Eric Draven just walked down the second little flight of stairs here. There's a crow on the banister. And he's a little disoriented, having been dead and all. And there's the crime scene tape.
Won't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen. There's the crime scene tape. He's taking it down, and he's pushing the door open to his...
This guy's apartment as well.
Yeah.
How
do you afford this place?
It's probably been talked about before, but they go into a full first-person shooter camera with him opening the door and kind of stumbling around here a little bit, which is pretty cool. I think that's maybe a shout out to Doom. Also shout out to Doom and Doom Guy.
Doom was hard to play, man. It gave me a headache, honestly. It did. It messed with me.
Ooh. Bash the Devil Stud. Felt how awful goodness is.
Also,
this is pornography.
This is in multiple films the best gang leader. It's just
I swear to God,
a full heel. He is so great.
He's gone from being the bad guy in the Warriors, the head of the gang in the Warriors,
the Rogues.
Rogues, which is a terrible name for a gang. You get bonus on sneak attacks, I guess, but no D&D players. Okay.
I read that instead of using the bottles, they wanted him to use dead pigeons at one point. In the Warriors, that's a whole nother thing. But this looks terrible, by the way. Some of these CGI shots do not necessarily.
You shut your mouth. This looks brilliant.
That looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
The
But
classic scenes
also
in the Burn
inherently
music
pointless. Why?
We mentioned Sofa Sheenus is Shelley Webster.
That looks shite. His hand's healing.
That's a little
It's-
rough.
He's reliving
Question-
falling out of the window. That's why he's doing the swing. It makes sense, Joe.
okay. Question for Americans:
Mhm.
Is eating bullets a pastime?
Yes, I just had a few early for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
They're good. Look at
Is that why your toilets are reinforced?
Yes,
Well, you got to do
absolutely.
something with all the ammunition that you're trying to keep the government from taking. So
Yeah.
You sick motherfucker.
Oh wow!
My granddad used to do that. He used to put cigarettes out on his tongue.
What?
He's dead now.
Oh well, I'd say.
Pussies drink less, man.
man, they give Worm way too much crap. Or whatever. This what's a skank? There it is. Skank. I was thinking Worm because there's a great line.
Yeah,
at
but
the
that's
end
how
of the movie.
that's how groups always operate, isn't it? There's always a guy at the bottom, isn't? Which one are you, Motor City motherfuckers? So we know we're in
Yeah.
Chicago, yeah?
Yeah,
We got to remind Joe that we're usually clean on this podcast.
it's Detroit. Detroit's
Oh,
the
is
Motor
it?
City of us.
Oh,
Yeah. You know, Henry Ford, the automobile, all that. Motor City.
notorious Jew hater Henry Ford, yes.
Yeah.
Too soon.
And we're back to Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney. Full circle.
Sorry,
telling
Tom,
you.
I didn't know how to keep it clean. Sorry, I will.
No, it's all good. I got
will
net.
inherit to try and yeah. You just
The kids won't know any better. I've already edited it out at this point.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is a rated R film, so the whole
Yeah,
that's
why
fair
are
too.
you? Why is an 8-year-old
I
watching this?
know. I'm stuck
Why
in
is
the
a
mud.
6-year-old
Aren't I?
watching this? Unless they're. Oh wait, Chris, can you explain why a 6-year-old is watching this?
Yes, Chris. Quit talking about Tom. Let's talk about Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you before the podcast, my parents were not necessarily the best parents in the entire world. But hey, I did get to see cool movies like this when I was 6.
I mean, I remember watching like Poltergeist as a young child, and it freaking me out. I explained to Tom before because my mum had that same clown doll. Yeah,
Oh
Ooh.
wow.
yeah, it didn't do me well.
Brandon Lee is out here looking like a hot boy in this scene. That's the whole scene.
Brendan Lee, like,
Wow.
swear to God, like, even though he's dead, I'd still let him have a go on me.
You know,
He
we
might come
brought-
back.
you guys mentioned well, the Crow. You mentioned you guys
Here
mentioned
we go, shut up. The music's
Sting
happening.
earlier. Oh, I see. Yeah, the flashbacking.
Pause for the cure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just put some white powder on my face, some makeup, because I've had enough of this.
Like, again, urban legend of this is like he slept in the makeup and stuff to make it seem more like lived in as it went on. So I just imagine there's some guy at like a 7-Eleven, like just Brandon Lee coming in trying to get a burrito heated up in a microwave, and he's like, "You all right?"
I mean, look, you guys mentioned
Gabriel
Sting
the cat
earlier.
as well.
Listen, you mentioned Sting earlier. Let's give a shout out to Scott Hall, who gave Sting the idea of using the Crow from the film to change up his look.
Also, if you want to go back to Sting in the comic book version of the Crow, James O'Barr's based the character of the Crow on Sting, the police,
There you go.
on the notorious mandolin pervert Sting.
With this,
Oh,
you're talking about just specifically the hair, because that's one thing this movie is lacking is the sick
Yeah,
80s.
if he had like a sick
hockey
mad mullet,
mullet.
it would be so good. But yeah, if you, I would say, Tom, get a copy of the book. I can't send you mine because you live a half a world away. But
I've checked it. I've dabbled in the Crow here and there, but I did start collecting a Crow series several years ago. One of many. I think I got a dozen or so issues in, and it was, I don't know what version of the Crow it was.
oh
I mean,
no, you need like just the original run, and maybe
oh no, I'm up for that.
Horse Blades one or whatever.
I might get
We're also
the
missing out here now on
trade paperback.
Tintin and Mr. Gideon. Mr. Gideon runs a pawn shop in town where Tintin sells stuff that I'm assuming, taken from people he's killed.
I just
That
want
is
to. I want
John
a hat that
Polito
just
is
says
Gideon.
Gids. I just want a hat that says Gids on it, like this. Like it doesn't say Gideon's pawn shop. It just literally says Gids.
He
John
does,
Polito.
yeah.
John Polito's done a
Everyone
lot of
knows
stuff,
it.
by the way.
Yeah, it's on the Detroit tour.
Well, not anymore. Well, here
No, it
soon.
explodes in a minute. Spoilers. If you haven't seen this 30-year-old film.
Got him. Draven's running across the
nails for you
rooftop.
boys. How's about that?
Yeah, this song always makes me want to just jump across rooftops too. Every time I hear it.
It does. It makes me go, as a fat middle-aged man, I'd be really good at parkour. Yeah.
Afterwards, Joe and I are gonna film ourselves doing parkour. It's gonna be like The Office.
I gotta do a triple gainer. Yeah, but this here now you see the crow.
Anytime Brandon Lee is swinging off something, it looks awesome. You're like, man.
I think it's one of those great things about it doesn't explain, it just tells. Like,
yeah.
Oh, if the crow can see shit, then the crow can see stuff. Like
crow vision.
Yeah,
also,
he's Google
sparking
Maps,
up fags off a big bin full of rubbish is how I want to die.
Look at that, how he fell.
Out of the gang, Tintin is by far the coolest.
Oh, mate, he's the one you would want to be mates with out of all of them. Yeah,
yeah.
He's got knives, mate. Knives
Lots
is the coolest
knives.
thing to have. In Young Guns, who is it? Is it Lou Diamond Phillips, who's the knife guy? He's the coolest one. Yeah.
Lawrence
Halloween
Mason is
Mañana.
He was also in Hackers, and he was in Prison Break on Fox. So he's done a lot of other stuff since then.
Oh, you want to do Hackers as well? I'll come back for that.
I just like that he didn't even hesitate to start a fight. Like,
yeah,
you're just like walking down the
his day to day. Tintin's day to day is just fights constantly. He's stabbing bitches left, right, and center. Like,
that's kind of what it comes off to. And in fact, like, probably puts
the only person he doesn't stab is Gideon.
Yeah,
and that's because he's got a working relationship with him.
He did call him a
murderer. Woman loft.
So it's been a year. Did we at some point get told it had been a year?
It's been a year. Yeah, they said it's been a year.
Okay, all right.
Well,
her name was Shelley. You raped her.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, some of this dialogue is yikes.
Yeah, questionable. Americans don't say shagged.
Shanked. Yeah.
Fun. And it's easy. Tintin, he dies by his own hubris. Like,
what about that crazy?
Like you said previously, like Tintin's day-to-day walk to work is just him stabbing fools.
What about that crazy bird stuff now, Eric Draven? How about it now? Yeah.
Hey, throwing a knife sideways is a fool's gambit.
You gotta love that, like, out of all the fight scenes in this film, Tintin does have the best.
Victims, aren't we all? Bam! Oh. Feel my nipples. Yeah.
Sting really did encapsulate Brandon Lee with that sense of humor and that smile and that voice. I didn't realize how close it was till now, actually.
Oh, here we are, the worst song on the soundtrack.
I was going to say.
Hangman's Joe is a terrible band name, though. I'm just going to... It's a terrible band name.
But it's that weird thing of, like, this venue puts this on, and then the night after, they put My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult on. Like, who's booking these gigs? Like,
This is exactly why T-Bird's like, let's get out of here. His music's lame.
over there. Tony Todd there doing a bit of Alan Rickman. Yeah, come by later.
Yeah,
Check
yeah.
me out. Yeah. I swear to God, like the lighting in this as well is tremendous.
It's all fun and games. You fall down and break your ankle at this nightclub.
No, I mean just like the fact that they're talking and you get the uplights as they're speaking. And oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Yo, no lie, this lady creeped me out. So the entire relationship with her and her brother,
Yeah.
still is pretty creepy. I do have to appreciate a man that's got sick flow, though. This guy's got some sick hair.
Hey, it's lovely. It's like a lovely carpet of hair.
It's like the guitarist for the,
curtains.
it's like the guitarist for the Eagles, right?
It reminds me of the guy in the Wild Wild West with the giant spider.
Oh God, don't get me there.
He's got the
Jeez.
same hair.
It's just so smooth. It's like, oh. Is that not Ang Lee? What's she called? She turns up in, I think, the Jason Statham film where his heart has to keep going.
That's Bai Ling.
Bai Ling. She turns up
Yeah.
in. The second one. She's a mad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
she's a
that-
little crazy.
Is it Transporter? What is the movie?
Yeah.
You're talking about the one where he's
no, it's not
shocking himself
Transport, it's
in
called-
the chest
Yeah, yes. And they have sex
Hmm.
near some horses at one point.
with the horses, or just?
No, the horses are just running about.
Oh, okay.
That's not Transporter, is it? That's the one he did where he has to like.
Is it called
Yeah.
like
It's something that's
oh,
off.
Shit, it's called like
Adrenaline
Spunky
or
Johnson
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna pull up his IMDb credits to find it, but that might take a while because they put this guy in like.
The
every
first
action
one's
film ever.
great because it's like 45 minutes long film.
What, Transporter?
No, not Transport. Jason Statham
Crank.
is the beekeeper.
Oh, Crank.
That's it.
The first Transporter is a great film. The rest of them, terrible.
I mean, Jason Statham has found his niche, and I will not have a bad word said against him. But
I love the first Transporter.
Funboy just looks like he's got a gig with his Guns
Yeah.
N' Roses cover band.
I was
after
just thinking
this.
Axl Rose. Yeah.
Like,
oh shit, yeah,
Oh.
he can't sing, but he looks proper like him.
I'm making a list of edits I have to make on this podcast, and Joe keeps making my life harder.
Why?
Yeah, I'm up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
What have I done now?
You and your little naughty language.
Oh, shush.
I thought you were gonna do it again. Okay, kids, if you're trying to catch up amongst all the fun,
This is my favorite scene in the film.
Eric Draven is
Great.
coming into the pawn shop now.
Leave it up somewhere else, Dust Head.
Oh,
I heard rapping as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Hey, it's a misquote, Eric Draven.
yeah, and it's also a crow and not a raven, which is like,
That's
yeah,
fair.
but also, it's sad that Raven outlived him. So, you know.
he needs to leave my boy Gids alone. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, mate, I'm calling him Gids from now on.
Joe, I'm gonna get us custom Gids hats.
Ooh.
We can wear
Mr.
them.
Gideon,
God.
you're not paying attention. Shit
That's
on
tough.
me!
That's tough to watch right there.
Yeah, this is a really cool scene, though.
Mr. Gideon, you're not paying attention. Why?
Speaking of Sting again, this is the only time that we see the Crow use a baseball bat, but that is a big encompassing part of the character Sting. So,
and as we record this, we're a couple months away from Sting retiring, so it's kind of poetic we're doing this right now. So and look at it this way.
Yeah, we're getting the bit.
Wow, it's a good bit.
That's a gruesome.
One of T-Bud's little helpers.
I like Gurney Hook.
Little gang shit. So be a beat cop.
Marco Rodriguez as Detective Torres.
A word to the wise. Watch your fucking mouth.
Oh, Joe, you're killing me.
I would say you would.
Joe, you're killing me. Joe's killing me.
Mate, that's a quote from the film. We're watching.
You can't. No, I keep this show clean so I don't have to put a tag on it.
Oh, well, put a tag on it and just put it's Joe's fault.
No. No, I can't. God, you know this. I enjoy this. It just makes me sad. Because in the short time we've seen Brandon, he's so good.
He's so good.
You know what I'm saying? Like his voice, his mannerisms. It just upsets me that the guy died the way he did. I hate that. Like even all these years later, it sucks.
Yeah, especially every time you see him swinging around something, you're like, oh man, maybe Spider-Man.
Mate.
I mean, it could. Hey, look,
the possibility there in the future that a man could be required to swing off something. And I know a guy.
He was young. I mean, he was young. He was. Let's see, how old was he?
He was about 11, wasn't he, when he died?
28.
Yeah,
he almost made the 20, almost the 27 club, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this
a shame.
Can we all just be quiet at just the fact that kid keeps just unlabeled cans of petrol or gas, as you call it, in his shop for no reason, right? Like, he's just got them in there.
Always assumed it was because he's planning to burn his own store down.
He's always one day away from insurance fraud.
Yeah, it's just an insurance fraud thing.
One boy with jolly pirate nicknames.
It really changes it when you think of him as Axl Rose.
It does.
Oh, and if we look at Eric Draven as, was it Steven Adler, the original Guns N' Roses drummer, who he had whose girlfriend he had sex with on the track for... Oh, I don't know my Guns N' Roses that well. Sorry.
So, when he says Jesus Christ in a taxi cab, which is pretty great. I love the rings dropping into the barrel of the gun.
Gasoline I smell.
But him telling Gids that he destroyed each one of these is a live you destroyed. I mean, some people just pawn stuff in general. You know,
well, that's fair.
I don't think Gids works in like because this is like a more horrific version of Detroit than like even fucking like RoboCop gave us. Tom, I'm sorry. I'm going to do sorry.
I mean, okay. You should go. Yeah, 2024 Detroit's not that much better. Go Lions, I guess. I don't know.
How far are they? Or are they?
They won, so I guess they're in the next round.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched enough. I need to.
I'm dead.
Detroit's a weird. It's a weird place after the collapse of the automotive industry in the 1970s.
Yeah, it is.
Which is why they filmed RoboCop there.
Which, Tom, I'm sure you have done. You've done the RoboCop, right?
We have not done RoboCop. Can you believe that?
Surprised.
I got a list of films I just haven't got to yet. That's the great thing about this show. There's so much we can do.
So many good ones out there.
That's fair.
I really like this little scene here between the two of them. Because it's like Eric Draven realizes that he can't be hurt. But I also hate the bit that every time there's a guitar, it goes like a weird guitar noise. It happens when he picks it up from the shop and he walks out. It goes,
Yeah.
Why? We know it's a guitar. Guitars don't make that noise when you pick up a guitar. It just
Well,
goes,
here's the real
now,
question.
because there's no guitar.
Later in the film, he's shredding on top of a rooftop.
Oh, he's doing some wank fucking.
But there's he doesn't steal an amp. Where did the amp come from? What is this?
It's the Crow vision. Not only can he do visual, he can do audio as well.
Yeah.
The Crow's a puppet.
Plugged it up the Crow.
Yes.
It's just mouth guitar sounds coming from the bird.
Yes. I mean, look, every Batman needs a Commissioner Gordon, and now the Crow has a Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
So
I love that Ernie Hudson here just absolutely hates him disappearing like Batman throughout the entire film. By the way, it is a great bit that they use multiple times.
Again, it never outstays its welcome.
No.
In fact, they should use that more in like Batman films.
Also, I they don't even eat the eyeball. They just inhale the smoke from the eyeball.
So this is the one part of the story, and at least in the film, that doesn't make any sense. This guy wants to destroy this. He's trying to get buildings to own property, I guess.
I think he's trying to take over the city. Yeah,
but he's a drug dealer. So
I don't think he's a drug dealer. He's just really into drugs.
Well, who's the character, the tall guy in the glasses? Who's this character? I want to give him props.
He's the bodyguard. I don't remember.
It's Tony Todd.
Oh, okay. Tony Todd, my bad. As Grange. Yeah.
I missed it somewhere. He's Worf's brother in Next Gen, which is weird.
And you got Tony Todd in a little pork pie hat. Right.
Now, everyone watching, say Candyman 3 times.
No, thank you.
He's the bad guy in the new Indiana Jones film, game, apparently, as well.
Oh. I was going to say, they stopped making Indiana Jones films 25 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mate, I watched Temple of Doom the other day, and it's so racist. Like,
is it that bad? I haven't watched it in a while.
Mate, it's so bad, it's never been shown in India. That's how racist it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a whole.
My missus is Indian, and she was like, "This is fucking atrocious."
Tom, it's probably pretty bad going back with 2024 eyes, even with us being in the South.
That's fair.
Oh, they all eat a snake that's been filled with other smaller snakes.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, it's of a time. It's a really dark film if you look at it.
It is.
It's a really bizarre film.
And plus, they backdated the movie. They came after the fact, tried to say that Temple of Doom came before Raiders, and I'm like, why? That's what they. Make sense. I know you're right, but that's what they did. They backdated it before Raiders, which is dumb.
I haven't watched. What is it called? Like the Nipples of Destiny or whatever it's called. The new one. It. I have no interest.
No, none. I think Last Crusade was the best of the three. I love Last Crusade. Love
First one is tremendous.
It is.
Last Crusade is good.
Mm.
And I've now recently discovered that Temple of Doom is like a weird little thing for me I can watch.
Yeah,
man, how did this get made?
Hey, if nothing else, Ki Huy Kwan is Short Round. I'm just saying.
So for the weird time lapse for everyone, he has now officially said it can't rain all the time. So that's where we're
at. Oh, he's now doing street officer.
So it has been a year or so since I watched this. She is like his either ex-girlfriend or ex-wife. What is going on?
I think she's just someone. She's like, what's the word? Like work wife.
Gotcha.
She's just like, she works. No, they work alongside each other. I think she may have had like when he got promoted, because he got busted down, didn't he?
Yeah,
After
and they
the-
don't explain really how he got busted down, just that it happened, because that one
I don't
cop
think you
is.
need to, really. Like,
I mean, you don't, but
Officer Albrecht is a non-character in this, isn't he? Really?
it
Hey, look.
makes you wonder what was cut out, because otherwise that whole line doesn't.
I've have
Yeah.
every version of this that is available, and I've seen every outtake and every Stone Temple Pilots, Machines of Loving Grace. This isn't it?
Believe so.
Hmm.
I would tell
Golgotha
you, but
Tenement
the
Blues.
subtitles just says rock and roll. So
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I love. That's my favorite genre of music.
Hey, look, Joe, to your point about Hudson, I love Hudson. I'm glad he's here, but the character, in my opinion, is fleshed out so little. You could have put anybody in there, and it would have been fine.
No, mate, you could have just put like a mannequin with a hat on.
Yeah.
no, I mean the line, but like the line delivery is great,
Oh no,
Oh,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm Hudson for life. Like,
and also you're taking away how important he is towards the end of this film.
yeah, but they kind of
Because
crowbar that in.
yeah, well, I mean, but hopefully people watching along are not watching this for the first time, so I don't want to say too
If
much.
you
but
are, I apologize for ruining this. Also, go away and watch it on your own.
No, watch it
Let's
with
just say
us.
Eric does not have the best time at the end of this film, and the character that Ernie Hudson is playing is a big.
This.
Oh wow.
Dinner.
Look how he comes up on him.
Oh,
Fun boy.
trousers.
I want you to
Hey,
sing
you a
Sweet
juggler?
Child of Mine.
Why are you wearing?
He's like, look, if you'll just sing a few bars of Sweet Child of Mine, you can go.
I'm so tired of hearing November Rain. It can't rain all the time.
Is
Right.
it true that your missus died during November rain?
Where's Slash? He just grabs him like Batman, and he's like, "Where's Slash? Where is he?"
Why don't you guys make up? Suddenly, my Eric
Why
Draven sounded like
Go
Christian
on,
Bale.
Make the Chinese incident, and it's still shit.
You know
This
that
hurts me
you look
because
crazy
this is
though.
the worst
Oh.
scene in anything.
Oh
you know
wow,
you look
that's pretty
crazy
rough.
though when Axl Rose in pajama pants is like, "Why you look so messed up, bro?" Just...
Walk into it.
Oh, we're gonna miss the joke here. Jesus Christ walks in a hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, listen here.
Jesus Christ, don't you ever fucking die?
hands him 3 nails, and he asks, "Can you put me up for the night?"
Look what you've done to my sheets.
it's such. They were like, "You're supposed to be this terrible bad guy." He's like, "Well, what if we give him this like funny line?"
Like, his house looks like where cockroaches go to die. It's awful.
Well, to be
Right.
fair, the leader of this mass criminal organization is like in a dilapidated building as well. It's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, I'll give you that, yeah.
It begs
they
the
don't
question.
financially look like they're doing that well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are they an unsuccessful crime organization?
boys.
Yeah,
Yeah. For crime boys, they're not living the big life, are they?
yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely not Ghost from Power setup going on. These cats.
That's the weakest shot.
God, he looks great, doesn't he? Holy God, look at him.
It's so good.
God, he looks so good.
It's the one. It's definitely.
We get
I
the
mean-
bit now as well. Mother.
Now, one thing I will say is that this coat fits way too well to be Tintin's coat. Tintin's a much bigger dude. This is not the same coat.
Oh, I forgot about this bit.
Mother is the name.
Morphine's coming out of her. That's freaky.
You understand? Your child is out on the streets.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's also ridiculous that he squeezes morphine out of her arms and not blood.
Yeah, they don't explain that superpower at all. Of, like,
you know why?
effects
Because
of-
they don't really explain at any point the Crow's powers. Like, he may have control over opiates in the bloodstream. We don't know.
I mean, you're
Well,
right.
then he would be
It's-
able to kill like half of the gang members without ever touching them.
Just
if he could.
with it. It's not as interesting, though, is it?
That's fair. But if you're looking at through the terms of the eyes of revenge, this all happens so in like a very quick amount of time.
Happens over 2 nights.
Yeah, there's no need to explain anything. You're just plus who would narrate it, who would say it, would
I'm
he say it
100%
out
with you,
loud?
Tom. Like, none of it has to make sense because it happens literally over 2 nights. One
Yeah.
night, actually, I think. No, 2 nights.
It's 2 nights, Devil's Night, and then they
Devil's
roll
Night
in,
and
so-
Halloween itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So plus you're kind of
So-
figuring out as you go.
And by the way, for those watching,
Good night,
Gids is back.
Darla.
Gids is back, y'all.
Kids.
That's-
Kids.
Anna Levine as Darla, by the way, or Anna Levine.
Y'all be on the lookout for my Gids fan fiction comic that will be coming out.
Dude,
The
Kids
Adventures-
goes to Disney World.
The
Everything
Adventures-
is- Everything. Right, Tom, get the bleep button ready.
There's
The
no
Adventures of
button. There's Tom
Tintin
doing it
and
after the
Gids.
fact. Bleep
I
button.
can't do bits then.
The-
Yeah, sure you can.
The
You're
Adventures of
crippling me.
Tintin and Gids.
Shh. Musicians.
I like that he comes in with a gun with no clip loaded.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
all.
If only that was the way that the rest of the film worked, we might
Yeah.
have Brandon Lee
Well,
still. Yeah,
That's what I was saying. When did they shoot this scene? They just get ultra safe with it.
You like Albrecht wearing his hat with the boxer shorts and the t-shirt on. What was
it literally is referenced in the film.
Hmm.
I love that Ernie Hudson. Yeah, he's out here just drawing on a photo.
Yeah,
just
I often think
This
about
hat
that.
on. He's drinking a Coors. It's his everyday life.
It's a good likeness. There you go.
Is this
He's
movie
like-
the same if Donald Glover is the police officer instead of who is currently casted?
I'm going to cast an aspersion and say that Donald Glover was the original idea. Boo.
Also, I like that Ernie Hudson has a canned Coors, and The Crow, he somehow comes out with a bottle here.
Hmm.
It's
I don't
fine.
even know. Again, in the UK, we don't have bottled cause.
You guys don't have the banquet beer itself? OG?
No, we
Coors?
have the
If you move that from Texarkana to Georgia, that's bootlegging. We got a
It is
whole show.
bootlegging.
We did a whole show about that.
Smokey and the Bandit, baby. Just saying. Can't be moving Coors beer. You can come back
It's
from the
all
dead
right.
thanks to a crow and walk around in
This-
boxers and a
This
hat.
bit
but-
here.
Crow vision.
Come on!
Don't touch me!
That's some Christian Bale voice acting right there.
Yeah.
This is the power I want.
No, I've
though,
shit my
so, like-
pants.
No, so when you're like really mad at someone, you don't have to put it in words. You just grab their head. They can
Yeah.
see all the crappy things they've done.
Yeah.
Just like
all the crap things you've done to them. Oh man, the crow powers are immense. Like, it's a good job they only die.
Time stat kids. Ernie Hudson's sitting on the coffee table smoking cigarettes
his
and Draven's
pants.
on his
Also,
knees.
in the
So-
background, is he playing basketball and trombone at the same time? What is going on this couch?
What?
Apparently.
What? Oh, I can't rewind. But
A chain smoking, beer drinking cop who's maybe not in the best shape of his life with a basketball on the couch.
and a trombone.
It's Xavier
And a
Woods' real
trombone.
dad. It's Xavier Woods' real dad, Tom.
It could be.
That's done me in, man.
Oh my.
Pop Joe, he's done.
Oh yeah, he's out. Forget it. He needs a nap.
This is about Ernie Hudson. Is that like, okay, son, one day you will need these trombone techniques.
Run.
Yeah, he has got a basketball and a trombone.
Oh look! On the chair, there's a football and a baseball on the chair.
He's just all the sports and
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a whole backstory where he's like divorced with like 5 kids and he just left their stuff there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a football and a baseball in the chair, side by side. They're putting the set together going, we got to let people know he's got kids. Let's throw some balls in there.
Lovely miniature work here. Yeah.
See, that's why I was asking when he was in the police department. Is he not because of the trombone and the basketball? That just was happenstance.
No, that's just mania.
But it's all coming together now.
By Lingen, her immensely crimped hair as well. Let's give a shout out to that.
Also, I want to know where this set piece, this giant metal sign that just says trash, went. And can I get that? I want to put that in my front yard.
Honestly, it fell into the ocean the day I was born.
I'd like to get the wig this guy's wearing. Where's that at?
It's his actual hair.
Shut up.
Yep.
Only Timothy B. Schmidt.
He got a sponsorship from I don't know. Ah, shit. I can't even think. No.
Herbal Essence. I don't know.
I was trying to think of an American like hair care company, and I could not think of anything. Oh, mate, like he's living the alpha male lifestyle there, isn't he? Just adore you.
I guess. I mean, so far his bodyguard and sister have done like all of the nefarious things. He's just kind of playing around with his swords.
Listen, Gid is not long for this world.
No,
it's terrible though, because
if you've got something to say to Gid, say it quick.
I mean, he says something pretty prevalent here, which is, "This is supposed to be your sister," because I was also confused.
Half sister.
That doesn't. That's still that relationship is too weird.
No, he says later half sister.
The Birdman. He just happened to let you live, huh?
I mean, he did. Gids didn't do anything wrong. He's just buying.
Gids doesn't know when someone's giving him an out, though, does he?
No.
Fucks.
They've been trying to do like a good Crow sequel for forever. What if instead of doing that, they just do the story of Gids? That's what.
Oh, mate. Gids, the Pawn years. Yeah.
We'll get Paul Heyman to play Gids.
No, we reanimate the corpse of Paul Bearer.
Oh,
you're gonna pawn this? Oh my! Yeah, it'd be good. 8 out of 10 on.
I like he shoots him. Like, what's like?
Oh, he stabs him in the throat, doesn't he? He's like, "Don't ever die."
Yeah, and then he shoots him.
Gid cannot be killed by conventional stabbing, right? This annoys. This is the one bit in the film I'm like, why is this here?
Yeah, why is this here? There's the amp.
Like he's wired up some amps that he's got from somewhere, and he's dangling them off the window. And if I lived in that neighborhood, I'd be like, "Can you shut up?"
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, it does look cool.
Oh, that shot.
That's fair.
It's boss, but also, I'm trying to sleep. I've got work at 7 a.m, and you're doing the solo from, like, trapped under ice.
Well, they've ran all the other residents out of that building, right? That was the whole thing that got Shelley murdered and raped and killed, was that they refused to leave the building for whatever kind of...
They just worked their way up the building like a reverse dread. they just.
We're gonna have to do Dread.
Everyone on the building on the way up.
Dread, because Joe, you were saying you really love Dread, and
Yep.
I also really, really loved Dread quite a bit.
Oh, can't train all the time. Can't train all the time.
Can't train all the time. Can't train all the time. Terrible.
We got some more crow vision happening here, kids, in case you're keeping it.
Yeah, man. That's not even how crow's vision works. Like, unless
Bro,
crows can hover, which I don't think they can.
I mean,
this
crow can control zombies, so if it wants to hover, I would believe it.
That's fair.
Like,
fire it up.
This is one of those great bits where Tintin has been left with the shittest member of his gang.
No, that's his boy. That's his road dog right there. That's the only reason he's in the gang, is they've been best friends for since elementary school.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the amount of effort Skink goes through to try to here in a second is over 9,000. Like, no one else in that gang would go through the effort to save. T-Bird.
Fuck, man. Having seen this film a million times, I've never thought about it that way. And wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's just his best mate.
As you would say, that's his mate. Drags him up with him, yeah.
Oh.
Crow
got a gun now.
All right, I'm gonna use the restroom before I miss the best scene.
Don't miss the best scene.
Drive.
Yeah, I'm a second behind you, but I think I'm right on track with Chris.
I was way ahead with my bet there because T-Bird!
Oh,
goddamn foreign cars!
That's from what's that from? We did Gremlins here, and I think that's from Gremlins, actually.
Oh, he literally says it in this film.
Oh, I see.
He steals it. It's like a put it in H kind of car, isn't it?
I love how when you get hit by cars in movies, you just get up and keep going.
Oh, mate. I think Skank has got enough artificial stimulant throwing through his body that he
that's fair. He just gets back up.
And then tomorrow's a nightmare for him. But then he just pilots it back on again.
Right. And there goes the hot coffee. The cop's like, "Hey, Carl, give me a heads up next time you plan on doing that. I just burned myself up."
Making us very popular.
I forgot how good this movie is. I say the word good.
So
Good subjective,
fun.
But I enjoy it.
We're not popular when they flash us like that. T-Bird's still trying to get his way out of it.
Yeah.
So you can obviously tell why T-Bird is the leader of this gang, because he is the only one that's trying to talk sense or do a business deal. He's like, "We can work this out." Also, one of my favorite lines in this movie is "Goddamn Ford cars."
Goddamn Ford cars.
Yep. Didn't we say that there was a line similar to that in Ghostbusters, or not Ghostbusters, but Gremlins? Mr. Futterman.
Yes, I brought it up when we were watching Gremlins.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's how he manages to lose them.
Also, this Thunderbird is pretty sick, though.
Yes, it is.
The combination of illegal narcotics that Skank must be on, he survived a full-on broadside car crash.
I kind of wanted Skank to live.
Yeah, he survived all the odds.
You kind of feel bad for him.
Buster, fuck.
Also, this is where we get the
Why?
it wasn't supposed to go down that way. The relocation program. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier.
Right.
They were like the last holdouts of that building. So it doesn't matter if he wants to shred on top of it, Joe. No one else is there.
I knew you.
We killed you, remember?
But you can't be.
Dead.
Remember when we killed you?
Man. There ain't no coming back. This is the really real world.
Truer words have never been spoken. This is the really real world.
There ain't no coming back, man.
He's so great. Back. I'm gonna watch The Warriors after this again. I just have to.
Oh, let's.
Not for me. You guys have fun.
Abash the devil stood.
Oh,
how good this is.
Uh-oh. This ain't gonna end well. There goes that car.
We also get the call back to set.
I love how he
waves on fire.
It's nice.
Let's talk about how good the alignment on this
Thunderbird
is.
I'm telling you.
It looks the most dramatic.
Wow.
If there's nothing, well, as we find out now as well, there's nothing the Crow doesn't like more than drama.
Yes.
Look,
he's very over the top.
He sets the lake on fire. Get the giant flaming bird.
I swear to God, like,
see,
if they were doing drag queens back then, he'd be well up there.
Look. When Albrecht needs his help, he need only take gasoline on the ground and light it and use it as the Crow signal, and then the Crow will be there. So
now, what I don't
like,
I mean, he drew that thing out like pretty quickly. Let's be
pretty quickly,
like, and with no errors.
It's one of the abilities you get.
Crow powers number 417.
Crow powers.
Ability to spray gasoline in a legitimate pattern. Yeah.
So now can't
legitimate pattern.
I like that no one has visited this graveyard at all. There's no maintenance at all in this graveyard.
Yeah.
The casket is still just
don't worry about that.
Sure.
That's fine.
Like, yeah, an open grave. It looks like someone's crawled out of it. Don't worry about it. Local news.
Hey, look, guys, not to sound all like that, but I'm not blind. I mean,
you see
are you saying that
wearing black to white?
What am I saying?
Trying to say that the mom is attractive? Is that what
you're the mom's attractive? I'm sorry. I'm not blind. What am I, blind? My eyes work fine. Thank you.
Who?
I mean, I just can't unsee the morphine flowing out of her arms from the crow squeeze.
Also, these are some shit eggs as well.
They're fried eggs. What's wrong with fried eggs?
Oh, she turns them over. Like, if you have to turn your eggs over, your pan's the wrong heat.
Easy, Joe.
She asked about the eggs, and she's like, "I want them sunny side up." They're sunny side up.
Also, right? I always like to think that that's just a big old bottle of malt liquor that they've got on the table there. Like a big old 20 ouncer.
Nothing I like more with breakfast.
Yeah,
big old bottle of
malt liquor.
That is the that is the Lando size version of Colt 45.
Gosh, I remember those ads.
The Billy D. Yeah, the Billy D.
Yeah, I remember those ads. Colt 45. Yeah.
Now, this detective is the most pointless character in the entire film.
Yeah, we don't even need him.
Honestly, he is just there to piss me off, basically, if I'm being completely honest.
Every cop needs a boss that's either yelling at him or pissed off at him or both.
Well, it's like, that's why I wish they fleshed the story out more, because it's like, was this guy his ex-partner or something? Like, why did they have this weird
Hudson is just like, whatever, I'm just annoyed at you. Like,
yeah. And now he's like kind of trying. He's like acting like he's gonna pin the crime on it. And he's like,
"But he's doing.
Do you know something that I don't know?"
The crime.
Yeah. Well, he's a beat cop.
He's just standing there getting more and more acne scars.
It's what happens when you mess with Gids. He puts the cheese grater to your face.
Gids has been. Dot, stop touching me. Can I don't know whether anyone knows how police works, but can one policeman suspend another policeman?
If he's a lieutenant or a captain or something, I would think so.
I suppose he could.
Yeah.
Wouldn't was it be involved in that?
Also,
Internal
it's been
affairs?
a year.
Not necessarily.
Or union, that he's union rep?
It's been a year as well, right?
I still don't understand what he got suspended for, though, because he's not even been at any crime scene other than Tintin getting
stealing a file from homicide, I believe, is what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And nudity.
And wearing his hat with his boxers, which is not allowed.
In the police station.
It's not correct.
I mean, walking around.
Dress code.
If we're going like on the what if, it's like they drove by his house. It's like, this guy is mentally unstable with a basketball and trombone on that couch. There's
he's putting that basketball in the cone of the trombone and going, trying to make it jump.
That's like when people play.
What makes it happen.
He's trying to do
America's Got Talent.
He's trying to do the trumpet plunger thing that the New Orleans jazz people do, but with a basketball.
Trying to get a jump.
Shout out to Kermit Ruffins. Y'all check him out if you're a fan of New Orleans jazz.
There we go. I just want somebody to come in with a broom and say, "My God, what happened in here?" Start sweeping up.
Well, the building's been condemned. Like, they were the last.
How do you get suspended as a police officer? Like, this crime scene has been trekked all over.
Yeah, but also, like, look at it. Like, it's just pages from a book. Like, also, Gabriel has been living there on her own, like, surviving.
Is this the one book that Fun Boy was ripping? Is this the entire? That's what it looks like after he was done.
It's a big book.
The book he's referencing is
Fun Boy ripped up the World Book Encyclopedia. Apparently, just kept...
and then distributed it evenly around.
This cat's awesome. Oh, look at this little.
This cat is awesome.
Come here, little
I love
guy.
this cat. Random time to ask this random question. Had the horrible accident that killed Brandon Lee not happened, would this movie have generated sequels? Do you think it did enough to get sequels? At least one movie, maybe?
There is more Crow.
For Miramax, yeah, because Miramax would take a shot on something like this, right? And it had a cult following. So the second one, they gave a way lower budget than this film.
And they put Iggy Pop in it.
I mean, that's what I mean. Had Lee lived and
Crow 4, it's your little lad from Terminator 2, Edward Norton. No,
I know who you're talking about. That's I forget his name.
That little prick, he's in it. Yeah.
Edward Furlong.
That's it.
Furlong. Yeah.
And also, Edward Furlong's awesome. He's in Detroit Rock City. That's a great film.
That is a great film. But Crow 4 is an absolute mess of an abomination of an abortion.
I've not seen any Crows except this one. I thought about it. Every time I thought about it, I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to.
So you guys have heard that they were going to cast DMX in one of these, right? And I really
I've heard so many things of who was
I have too.
As the next Crow.
Well, they had a whole script
at one point. Like,
they had a whole script for DMX doing one of these after with the two films he did. I can't think of not Belly, but
he did
one with Jet Li and one with Seagal. Yeah, he did those two films. They were like, man, what if like DMX was the Crow and we set it in New York? I was like,
well,
I'm in for that.
That would have been most of that abortion happened. Yeah,
I like the idea of
good.
I like the idea that the Crow could be anybody. Honestly, I like that idea. I did not watch them because it wasn't Brandon. I just kept thinking, are we making these movies because the comic book company and James O'Barr is on board, or because we really, really, really want to follow up the Brandon Lee movie?
O'Barr was not on board for anything after this one.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
That's
City of Angels is awful, minus Iggy Pop, but the rest of it's awful.
No,
the soundtrack's not as good. It's a lower budget film.
It
stories,
feels like a potato print of this film, and it just gets worse the more they reprint it.
Mm.
If someone's dead, they can't come back, can they? Oh well. Let's have some cold onions on a sandwich because we're menaces.
By the way, kids, if you see the gigantic jar of pickled eggs, you're at the right scene.
Yeah, boy. You never had a pickled egg?
Oh, God, no. Help me, no.
Oh, eat them.
No, thank you. They're everywhere down here, but no thank you.
It's a rite of passage.
It's okay.
I'm more of a pickled sausage kind of guy, but sometimes you get the jar that has
pickled
both.
Sausage?
It's the same thing. It's just a smoked sausage pickled.
Oh,
and they put them in with eggs. Onions make you fart big time.
Shut up, Chris. Yes. Right.
I just want to see. Eric. Look, if he hadn't killed Fun Boy, they could be doing a cover right now. No, he killed him. Just saying.
Yeah, but he's hanging out literally on the roof where Mary Poppins is doing Step in Time.
That's true.
Here we go. This is where it gets good. I live my life with a thrill kill cult.
I mean, my thing is why did they give him such a crappy amp? Why didn't they give him a Marshall staff?
Oh, and such a terrible guitar. I mean?
Yeah. Hmm.
Danzig shows up, just starts singing Mother.
I'd be okay with that.
Mother, let you know on my way.
Oh, I was Danzig walking in going, oh shit. Have you watched Phantasma or whatever, Danzig's film he done?
No, I don't think I've seen it.
We're gonna do it at some point on Hallmark Greatness, and if you want to come on, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Apparently,
let me know.
Such a broken film.
Speaking of comics, I know you guys love comics. You should totally pick this one up. This is a Henry and Glenn.
Oh my God, who did this?
Let me see. It is Igloo Tornado is who's listed. A friend gave me this. It's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Go pick this up. Henry and
That's
Glenn.
Nuts.
Forever.
Kids, if you're still with us, and we hope you are, you're coming up on the best scenes in any movie ever. The big, long meeting table. Oh, this is fun.
It's such a good table as well.
It is.
Tom, you might have to bleep me here in a second because one of my favorite lines is coming up.
I gave up on the bleeping a long time ago. I got up to 20, 22 edits. I'm like, I'll just throw this freaking tag on
Joe
here.
Grimes, and yeah.
Joe done effed it up, so I'm going to have to throw the tag on here.
Well, it's the Crow. If we were doing Trolls 2, then I would...
If we were doing Trolls 2, I'd be cursing, saying, why the hell am I here? So,
well,
hey man, those Trolls
everything
movies
leads
fun.
us down a dark path. But also, I love this table, and also the fact that it is... Have you done, Tom, have you done Mystery Men?
We have not done Mystery Men.
Does not this table just make you go, it's the Asian people and the black people, and
Oh.
Do you know how cold it would be in this room in
October it's such a massive
in
room.
Detroit with all these broken and open windows?
It looks, I will say though, Chris, my man, it looks cool as fuck though.
Yeah, but I think we've well established this guy does not have a good head for business. This gang is broke. Okay, I don't know who they're taking money from.
Taking money from him. Did you not see his massive plate of chingy out on the table?
Terrible.
I mean, they did this relocation program a year ago, and that building is still there.
There's a guy there in a beret. Yeah. Oh man, this is wild.
Timothy B. Schmidt's telling them they wanted to sing Desperado. I'm just saying. Let me make my Timothy B. Schmidt joke. What, Joe? How come you don't want me to make it all the time? Every time I try.
Why don't you come to your senses?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they know. You see that face? They're like, oh, they know what's up.
I feel like a little
gentleman
on a big fucking hook.
Wait a minute. Oh my God, I love this so much.
Gentlemen.
Oh.
Steven Seagal from Under Siege there, did you notice?
Bro, shout out to our boy Skank for immediately dipping out of here. Or
Oh, yeah,
to.
and then Tony
was
Todd
not-
gripping him and like, yeah, boy.
Everyone else just sitting there like everything's fine. He's
They've
like,
all,
nah,
they've
dude,
all
I'm
just pulled
out.
out all these guns they've got strapped to their thighs and like torsos. But Skank don't work like that. Skank don't operate on that.
Well, you
Now
see
let's
that.
see you in
it's already bored the hell out of me. Kill him. That's gotta hurt.
So
Okay,
is the
Why
scene?
did the Crow start electrical taping itself midway through this? Just to keep the shirt together?
Look,
Like,
no, man, it's good. Like, 'cause they got Captain Sensible from The Damned.
I mean, outside of it just looking super
Oh,
cool.
look out! So listen, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to this. At what scene did he get shot? I'm not saying the shots in the movie, but at what
We can do
scene?
that in the debrief afterwards if you want. Yeah.
Because I don't even know. Do we know?
Yeah, we know.
I don't know. Is it a scene we've already seen? Because I know it's not in the film.
Yeah, it's the scene where Fun Boy shoots him and then throws him out the window.
Wow, that early? Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
it's filmed.
Tom,
wasn't
It's
filmed
not in
yet.
sequence. I get it. Yeah. Wow. It's just ironic that it's the beginning. I mean, it's not, but you know what I mean? Wow.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Oh, it's sad. God, it's still. This is a great scene. I'm not trying to bring it down. It still just makes me sad. God, I can't believe how sad I am right now.
Oh, this thing is like, this is what the Matrix wanted it to be. Like,
Ooh.
Do you remember
So
the
good.
really cool Crow movie poster from this scene where he's like sitting cross-legged on the table?
Yeah.
It's
excellent.
I don't know if it's necessarily in the movie, but I remember that movie poster quite fondly.
Excellent.
Also, he just goes full samurai here, and it's amazing.
Love it.
Anytime we're getting samurai swords, I'm into it.
So did this does this movie do the book justice, by the way?
Different. They're way different.
Different.
Yeah. The book is a lot more
punk rock.
I would say like it's more like Saw style punishments for the people that have done things to him.
It kind of has like I don't want to say it has like a Spawn feel to it, but it kind of has a Spawn feel to it. So,
oh, have you done Spawn? Can we do Spawn as well?
Not done Spawn. I'm up for it.
It's a great film, just ahead of its time.
By the way,
no, I don't know about saying it's a great film. I enjoy it. I wouldn't say.
It's yeah.
When tagging is a great film.
No. All right. It's terrible
for what it is.
Yeah.
For what it is.
One of those things where they didn't know what they were doing. They just tried to do shit.
We have to say the Crow exited stage left. You know what I mean?
He doesn't run. He does his little run.
It's great.
It's wonderful. By the way, kids, this movie was filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina. There you go.
It's like an hour away from you, Tom.
Yeah, it's not far. Well, Wilmington's a little farther than an hour.
They stopped aerosols running across rooftops now.
Not to try to get you a plug in, Tom, but when are you guys doing another indie wrestling show? I got to come up to that.
That organization is no longer active.
Oh wow.
It's been shut down for a while. Long story, I'll tell you off mic.
Okay, well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I'll have to come up to a AEW show then, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or if there's like a really strong independent that comes around that's worth driving to, I'd be up for that too. I mean, dude, AEW was just in Charlotte. I didn't go. They're going to be in Charlotte for Sting's last match. I didn't get tickets. Like, I'm not into it, but it's like
those tickets are ridiculous. They're way too expensive, and they're
They
not
are.
selling out the things that they're booking them in. So
Yeah,
the tickets
it's
should be cheaper. That's
crazy.
So
we can maybe talk about that on the wrestling podcast.
Ernie Hudson has just bundled the Crow into his car.
He just Commissioner Gordoned the Crow here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's suspended. He has nothing to lose now, except for after
one of the many times. God damn. Eric Draven just bails on him.
I want this whole city to be burned down. I want everything on fire.
Yeah,
you do. Can we remind? Can we remind him you still don't have any money? You still live in squalor. You haven't bathed in 2 weeks. Like, I thought the point of this was to get rich. What are we doing?
No, he's got a really good shower because we saw Bai Ling having a shower.
We did. That is true.
Yeah.
The one thing of extravagance there was the king size bed in a really nice shower.
He blew the take on the bed and the shower. So
it's how I judge hotels I stay in. How good is the shower?
But the water pressure is terrible because it's like right above a club.
Look at him. Hey, look, I don't mean to keep taking it back to wrestling, right? We do it all the time with everything we do, really. But when Sting is done, we're done. That's it.
Oh, mate.
No, listen, be nice. You can have wrestlers who can try to mimic the look and whatnot. We'll never see this again because it won't work. It worked and it worked forever and it was great, but like, that's it. No, Joe, you're wrong.
Sting was never as cool as the Crow.
You don't know what I'm asking, Tom.
Oh no, go ahead. It's fine.
Would you be happy if he passed on the mantle to Darby?
No.
I mean, I think Darby doing his own thing is great. And I think if Darby wanted to change up his paint, change it up, he could.
But I genuinely, this is Wayne not watching the film and we're missing the film. A big emotional bit here. But I really wanted the last match to be Darby versus Sting.
We all did.
Yes.
Trust me.
I was like, there's no way Sting can carry a 20-minute match. Like, he's old.
Yeah,
Tag match, though. He'll be fine.
No.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
Darby versus Sting for...
No.
Listen to Wrestling Geeks Alliance next Saturday, in which I bury the Young Bucks.
Oh, snap. By the way, kids...
in the storyline with Sting's final match.
In case you're wondering, Eric is giving Sarah the necklace, giving the engagement ring. This way you'll always remember her. I'll never
also, I promise I wasn't intentionally trying for it to get darker as the movie went on, but
nobody's some kind of nice serendipity there. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna use this background every pod I do from now on. This thing's all wicked awesome. Look at that. I've never looked cooler.
You have to paint your face a shadowed smile every time.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Onions make you fart.
Yeah, that's true.
Not if you have crow powers. If you have crow powers, you're good.
He doesn't have crow powers anymore, I guess.
He does at this point. Until
no, he's already started bleeding.
No, Bang Lee has got. He steals the crow at this point.
No, he's already bleeding.
Tony's holding his scar hat.
Yeah, Tony already
picking it up.
Yeah. Leave it to the Candyman to show up, just capturing children, channeling his inner Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
There's a scene earlier in this movie I meant to comment on where they kill Gideon, and then
who?
Tony Todd is Gids. Sorry, where Gids gets killed. He's like, "I'll call the janitor up." Imagine, like, how often does this happen where they have like an actual? Do you think it's an actual janitor, or do you think it's like the wolf, or like the cleaner?
The guy from like,
Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs?
Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Like the guy from John Wick, you just give a gold coin, and he'll just move as many bodies as needs be.
Yeah.
Also, like, what's their obsession with cutting out people's eyes? Like, bro.
I don't know.
Her entire character reminds me of the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. Like Asian bad guy.
Rough.
Yeah. Like,
Chris, me and you did have a good
Why
time.
God? Why God? Tell me why. He's sitting cross-legged naked in the sewer. What are we doing?
Yeah, why is this a thing?
Joe's like about to do a spin-off podcast where he just talks to me about terrible films.
Hey, that's literally my podcast. It's terrible.
That's his podcast. That's what they do.
Oh.
Is yeah.
Hallmark
of greatness. Shout out Hallmark of greatness.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Car, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
I like the
Oh, he's so good. Well. His voice as well.
Yeah.
He's like treacle being poured over industrial materials.
I mean, he's a cool bad guy, but he's no Tintin. They should have saved Tintin.
Shut up! Why are you want to bang Tintin so hard?
Because Tintin was cool, dude.
You got knives. You just get some knives.
Well, he's got a samurai sword.
Oh fuck!
It's not as cool as many knives in the trench coat.
I don't know.
Lighting your cigarette off a trash barrel.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
your
like,
best friend
that's
being
cool.
Gids.
That is cool. That's cool as hell. Lighting a fag off a big old bin full of shit on fire.
Eric Draven's not. It's not looking good for him.
He played pretty good.
It's not looking good for him, kids.
To me, this is where the movie always kind of like fell apart a little bit for me. Because
really,
it rushes the ending so much.
Yeah, the ending is so rushed, and also crow powers, and it mimics Beauty and the Beast, which is wild to think about.
There's nothing like good old fashioned shoot 'em ups in movies, though.
Right, I've just walked away from the screen to go and get another drink, and all I'm hearing is boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang. I'm like,
that's all that's happening.
Tom, I watched True Detective season 2 yesterday, which I had kind of skipped because I heard it was bad. But there is a lot of really good shoot 'em up action in that. So if you have never watched it, it might be.
I've never given True Detective a chance. I honestly didn't know what I was looking at. Like I'm like, man, there's some massively big name actors in this series. This is crazy.
The second one is kind of all over the place.
Man, I'm all full of blood.
See, once again, you were like, Ernie's not important. Look at him.
Yep.
He put down the trombone, show up and save his friends.
He shows up. You're not the police, Ernie. I'm going to do my own police siren as I drive around.
It's like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. That's his distraction. Crow's out here in a box.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I told you, it's weird. It's
half. No, Ernie's got shot.
She got him like 3 times, didn't she?
Oh, she's peppering bullets down there. Yeah. Let's kiss. Come on, kiss
Also,
him.
like, Ernie is high as hell. Like, what kind of... He's a cop. He should know that, like... shooting.
No, I don't think he is.
He has no angle.
So he's actually a citizen at this point. Because he doesn't have police protection because he's been suspended.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
so at this point, he's just firing a gun up a random clock turret.
Yeah, he's pulling the end of Point Break. He's like, yeah. Like, what was that?
Nothing. No more time for us. Yeah, peck her eyes out, bro.
Yeah.
Eating the delicious eye jewels.
Also, like, what does she mean by pity? There's no more time for us. Like, she just wants to get really
yeah.
I think she
necro.
knows
Like,
what Eric Draven is, and I'm trying to make excuses. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know either.
no, I always took it as like,
Let's just say sex.
yeah, that's what I thought. She's like, man, I've always wanted to have sex with a zombie. That'd be dope.
Can I just like take your eyes
Crow
out?
watches from afar, so I get.
She's like, can I just
shot of it?
Can I just take your eyes out? You won't feel it, right? Because you're dead. Can I just take them out?
Yeah, I mean that would be like the best. Like they could live a long, happy relationship.
Literally, this
where...
prick just throws Sarah off the roof as well. Like,
yeah, let's throw her off.
correct.
To be fair, Tintin would have just murdered her and not had this like giant, massive bad guy fight. Just saying.
Oh,
Matt, it's good that lightning.
I got this weather vane. I'm gonna be fine.
No, we do have in the UK. We have like literal metal spikes we put in high buildings to attract lightning through them.
Well, yeah.
It has to be stated that Batman, the 80s Batman and Batman animated series had such an effect on a lot of some of the choices in this film as far as like how it shows up on screen.
Well, now to be honest, this is 94 animated series. I think started in like 2 years after Batman 89, so it started in 91. I think.
Yeah.
But
That's
you're
what I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
a lot of
This prick, right, look at him. Stabs him from behind. Absolute.
It's not looking good, is it?
In the words of Scott Hall,
he's wearing jumpers.
He's
He's not even near a horse.
Oh, now we got to hear him talk about his daddy for a while. My daddy used to say,
you should never fight an undead demon on the roof of a building.
especially if that
Let's
building
kiss. Now, let's do a kiss. Kiss him. Kiss him. Kiss him, you coward.
He's like, you got a lot of spirit, son. A year older than you were, son.
Ah, man, I'm gonna iron claw you. All of the iron claw pain.
He does hit him with an iron claw pretty hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's the crow claw. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I imagine.
Oh man, he just lands on a spike.
Yeah, that hurt. What a great effect.
There has to be a YouTube video where someone has like Jim Ross being like, "Back out!" over top of the scene.
It's the crow.
They do it all the
the
time.
Crow's powers.
Yeah, they do it all the time. He's broken. He's been broken in half.
Yeah, when he falls all the way to the ground.
Recollection.
He's broken in half.
They do it all the time. Like you'll see a random video of a lady falling in a parking lot. My God. And you're like, come on. Now we're reaching. Like,
I mean, we basically just watched Hell in a Cell, Undertaker vs. Mankind.
That's fair.
You can leave. That's not right.
That's fair.
One of the second best films ever made.
Call back to earlier in the film where he's like, I'm quitting. These things will kill you. It's pretty good. Also, I like the fact that, like, even if you die, the tobacco industry still has their hooks in you, bro.
Yeah.
You come back from the dead, you're like, let me get a hit off that smoke, my guy.
No, I think Eric was just a guy. Like he was in a band. He was a sexy boy. Like he's tooted some snoops. You know what I mean?
What?
No, we don't.
Wait.
Don't ask him. Don't ask him. I'm afraid. Don't do it.
Wait.
He was in a rock band. He's like he's had a
No.
Anyway.
Did you just say some tootin' some snoots?
He's tooted some snoots. Yeah. Really? That's not a thing. Okay.
No.
Oh, I'm sure it's a thing. We just don't know what we're calling it over here yet, because
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like, is that grabbing a smoke? Is that what you?
I'm not.
guys
I'm
call
not.
No,
it?
he's been
Yeah,
tooting snoots.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
mate.
not. I'm not allowing this.
Oh.
So I'll break this on the stretcher with the
You're not
IV
allowed
fluid.
this. I'm going to talk louder.
No, never. So the detective is like, is he going to give him crap again?
I mean, he just shut down an entire criminal enterprise, I guess. So,
But he blames. He says all the vigilante deaths are from Johnny fucking Conditioner on the roof.
that's true. Wouldn't the good Crow 2 be like Ernie Hudson is basically convicted of this crime and then he escapes and he becomes like Batman essentially, because like for a fact he's gonna be like, someone's going out here and vigilanting these criminals.
Can we watch the end bit of this and like appreciate its niceness? Also, his missus, he's punching well above his weight there, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Well, I don't know. He's pretty. He's a pretty guy.
Yeah, I know, but he's going to be doing just karate around the flat and stuff, isn't he? Like,
He don't have any time for her. All that karate and whatnot.
Yeah, he's
It's funny you said punching way above his weight class. I always go with batting way above average when I talk about my wife.
That's American differences, yeah. But yeah, Sarah gets the ring.
Did the spirit come back and take him back with her? What did we? I assume
he can only live in once he's killed all of the people that have wronged him. His spirit returns back.
Gotcha. All good. Real love is forever. Did you hear that, kids? Buildings burn, people die. Real love is forever. For Brandon and Eliza.
I also will say this song is the best song to finish this film on. It's a shit song if you listen to it separate.
I get what you're saying. Like if you take it in context of the film and how it ends out, it works really well.
Well, there you have it, kids. We have done it. That there is The Crow. So if you're not at the end of the movie, you done screwed up, because we're done. I don't know what y'all did wrong, but we're done. So there you go. Again, I enjoy this movie. Hadn't seen it in a long time. I loved watching it again. Still makes me incredibly sad. Brandon Lee left a lot of what ifs behind that we will never know, unfortunately. So, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's one of those things that, hopefully he won't be forgotten. You know what I mean? With this being the anniversary year, maybe we'll get like a re-release or something, or special edition. That'd be nice. So we'll see. So Joe, you have one word. What's your last word on The Crow?
It can't rain all the time.
Are you just going to sing your way out?
Yeah. No. Ending
the film, and we can wrap it up with just song lyrics from the film. And at this point, it's conversations kill, man.
Oh, well, there you go.
I've been a big fan of the comic book. I wasn't angry at this because it's a different telling of it, and it's a beautiful piece of cinema. I have nothing bad to say against it. I love this film so much.
Same.
And I know it's dated and it's incredibly 90s-y, but also shush. So's The Matrix, and everyone bangs on about that like it's the new Jerusalem.
It's just movies. Just movies. Like what you like, kids. Like what you like. Chris, what do you think?
So this is a movie that I loved as a kid. and hated as a high schooler, and then grew up and loved again. So it's kind of a weird tale. This movie regained its popularity when I was in high school to some extent, with Hot Topic being such a thing and people wearing strappy pants, and this becoming kind of a staple in that community, similar to Nightmare Before Christmas, to the point where it took something I loved and made me not like it. But as I've watched it, as I've gotten older, the appreciation and the love for it, bringing back to the nostalgia moment of seeing this at the Dollar Theater as a 6-year-old, really holds up. Absolutely love it. The soundtrack is phenomenal. Like I said, it lived in my car for quite some time. Back when we used to have these discs that you put in these things called CD players.
Remember that? Imagine.
But I love this movie. I still hold it close to my heart. I'm not gonna be as ballsy as Joe out there, like second favorite of all time. It's it's up there. I enjoy it. Every time I watch it, I enjoy it and I have a good time talking about it with other people. So thank you guys so much for having me be a part of this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, with any future remakes, because there's one coming, there's another one coming. I know what y'all are thinking. We don't want or need it. And you are correct.
Never happened.
Yeah, well, they're going to, again, if there's an opportunity for a studio to make money, they're going to seize it, and we can hate it all day long. I think, yeah, I don't know. I got nothing more on that. We'll be here all day. But yeah, again, kids, like what you want to like, watch what you want to watch, and if you're not into it, you don't necessarily have to crucify it. Just don't watch it. So yeah, no matter what happens, they won't take this movie away from you. You'll still have this movie, so you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly. This is still the thing you can go and watch on your own time.
Yep. You still have it, so no worries. And no one's going to take it away from you. So enjoy what you want to enjoy, watch what you want to watch. And if you don't want to check out the sequels or the remake coming up, don't do it. Enjoy it.
Because they're all terrible.
They're all terrible.
I have a question for both of you guys before you left.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you guys dress up for the Crow as Halloween? If so, raise your hand.
Of course I fucking did, mate.
I never did.
Yeah.
I was like a 16-year-old guy trying to get into girls' pants, and I thought the best way to do that is dress up as like a weird loner. Yeah.
The Crow.
Yeah.
So shout out to everyone out there trying to dress like the Crow.
Mate, I still think leather dusters are the coolest cloak you can ever wear. Right.
Yeah, it was all fun and games until Columbine ruined it.
I know.
But
then also, it's all Sonny is trying to claw that back. So yeah.
I mean, it's again, stylistically, unfortunately for the way things happen with Brandon Lee, the late great Brandon Lee, but this movie carved out a niche, man. There's 100% truth about that. So
it's a niche that was more successful than
it's pronounced niche.
It's a niche.
I don't care. It's my show. I'll call it whatever I want to call it.
All right.
Okay. So hear me out on this. All of the Batman movies in the 90s were terrible. Comic book industry looked like crap. You get this, you get kind of a niche thing, and then we get some good comic movies after that. So I'm very thankful for your weird films that actually seem more like comic book films to me, like Tank Girl, for instance. We kind of talked about it before we went live. In The Crow. These movies, sorry, Stone Temple Pilots is blaring in the background right now, but I appreciate these movies because those Batman movies were so commercialized and so bad, and you get Superman 3 and that's bad, and then you get this and you get Blade, and then now we have an actual comic universe, for better or for worse, because I have some kind of fatigue with that, as I've talked about on previous podcasts. But some of the stuff you get in 94, 95 with this and Tank Girl, I think is really cool, and kind of where I would like to see the Joker and things like Logan were kind of a little more artsy and doing its own cool, neat thing. I want to see more of that and less of the giant commercialized. This is our formula.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
This is our WWE should be, and I want to see more of the New Japan, if that makes sense, Tom.
Yeah, and I'm glad you laid that out, because you're totally right. Like, this movie, this movie is part of the roadmap that got us to where we are today. Yeah, without it, I mean, this movie checked boxes that no movie before did, and movies after tried, you know, but didn't quite hit this note. I mean, that tried, but didn't quite hit it. So I think that's a fair point. Yeah, we got to where we are today thanks to movies along the way. So yeah, for sure.
Did The Shadow come out after this? I'm trying to remember.
Shut up.
Because
I think The Shadow is the only film I ever walked out of.
Because there are some other films where they tried to do the Crow formula and it did not work as well. But anyways, that's kind of my piece on the Crow. I love it. It's like a weird love-hate thing because I hated it. I loved it, hated it, and then I loved it again. So it's like a on-again, off-again relationship with me and the Crow.
Hey, it can't rain all the time.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, well, there again, you know, I wish they'd leave it alone, but it's okay if they don't. They can do what they want to do. I suppose,
mate,
but,
it's been minded about. Yeah. We're going to get a Rob Zombie remake where his missus is in there for some reason, even though the fact that she's a terrible actress.
Yeah.
Well, if it's anything like the two Halloween films, I'll probably just not watch it.
I did watch a Rob Zombie film the other day that was pretty good. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like Hunger Gamesy, but Rob Zombie.
You know, I think as a person, Rob Zombie's probably
Malcolm
cool.
McDowell was in it as a host. Yeah.
I think Rob Zombie as a person is probably cool, and I like him and I like his style. I don't know. I don't get the movie making part of it. I'm not here for it.
I like House of a Thousand Corpses. I like Devil's Rejects. Outside of that, I'm not a big fan of. I hate his take on Halloween. I also have been called his doppelganger when I let the hair flow. So I like White Zombie. Do some more White Zombie albums.
I love White Zombie.
Oh, mate, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
So,
dude.
Yeah.
Thunder Kiss 65. Are you kidding me?
I've not seen your hair unfold, but I was like, with it going rogue, I would. Oh no! You look a bit like Before that, I was saying you look a bit like Be Real from Cypress Hill, but
it's true. It's true.
I
1960. Yeah.
Talk about somebody that carved out their own niche.
Oh, mate! One of my favorite gigs ever was watching Rob Zombie because he arrived late. Monster Magnet had to fill for time. Rob Zombie came out. Yeah, Rob Zombie came out and just fucking murdered everyone in that room. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
he wasn't even the main act, I don't think. But yeah.
No, I will say don't watch City of Angels or Salvation, and don't let people trick you into watching Salvation because Kirsten Dunst's name is associated with it. It's by far the worst comic book film she's ever been in. So
watch it if you want to. You may love it. We think you won't. But if you want to,
you're an idiot.
Go ahead and watch it.
Drink a lot.
I mean,
before
everybody's got to be a fan of something.
Get happy before you watch it.
Everybody's got to be a fan of something. We'll see you next time, and we'll see what happens with this series or with this character moving forward. Fingers crossed it won't be a total disaster. But in the meantime, that is The Crow. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 6M Podcast. We'll see you next time.